Hello, more about understanding the sea. Survival on a rocky shore, quite apart from the dangers inherent of in temperature changes. Animals living on a rocky shore risk being battered to death by the waves every time the tide comes in. When it goes out again, they are in danger of being dried up by the sun, and when they overcome this double problem in many different ways. The common plunny and the butterfish wriggle into surfaces or hide under boulders. Crabs protect themselves by digging in. They burrow down to the shingle and hide underneath stones. If one of their legs gets trapped under a rock, they can break it off and eventually grow a new one. Starfish too have this ability to shed trapped limbs and grow new ones. Many animals cling tightly to the rocks to prevent themselves being washed away. The limbs gripping power and well known its conical shell is ideally shaped to withstand the shock of the waves. Barnacles and some tube worms are permanently cemented to the rocks. Mussels, however, attach themselves by means of anchoring threads. If these are broken, they can make new ones. They avoid drying out by keeping their shells tightly closed. Common periwinkles glue themselves temporarily to rocks when the tide is out. If the returning water washes them off, they can be rolled about like pebbles in their thick round shells. Some fish have developed suckers by which they attach themselves um, to um, to rocks. The Cornish sucker, lamp sucker, and sea snail have suckers, but the rock goby has a joint pair of fins which act as a sucker. Notice this figure represents the types of sucker or fish which have developed suckers by which they attach themselves to the rocks. Notice goby fins used as a sucker here. Notice that. And another picture represents sucker which has developed from fins. Sea snail. Notice also the barnacles, limpet, rock goby, sea snail, and sea with direction also mussel. Notice the animals which cling tightly to the rocks to prevent themselves, as mentioned earlier.